This market is a joke. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it is absolutely stinky. Don't get me wrong, Bitcoin with this pink bearish line that we have put on the chart here, it is sort of bouncing off it. I don't know if it is going to go down though, and we do wait for confirmation, because that's what I am planning on doing. I want to see where this heads, because this could go a lot lower, even down to, like I mentioned, the 52k region, possibly even lower than that, depending on how this trade war escalates. Because I remember last time, with the trade war, it brought Bitcoin down, I think about 40-50%, maybe even the S&P down that amount, especially if these tariffs are actually going to go through, because everything's going to be more expensive and people aren't going to want to touch risk assets because they don't have free money. And that's why gold is going up and gold is soaring. If we look at gold today, gold is soaring to 3.3k. People are scared. I want to look for a low on this thing, a cycle low, maybe at like 2600. Hopefully, I don't think we'll get it, but if we do, I do want to head into gold, gold and silver. What is silver saying on a day like today? I think it is still $33. So it is still going up itself as well. We need to get it on a pullback though. So 34 down to 29. That was a huge pullback. I want to get it off this 29, 27-ish support region. Potentially, we'll see how it goes. What is the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index saying? So we are still in fear at 29, hovering around extreme 2 fear. What about the other Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index? Because we do also want to have a little look at that, because I feel like that one, 29 as well, yeah, so we are in fear again now. U.S stocks rebound. This is what happened basically, yeah. Trump has increased the tariffs on China to 245%. That's stupid. That's insanity. And then the U.S stocks rebound as China says it's open for talks if Trump shows his respect and names a point person. So the S&P was pumping after that, which is stupid. But yesterday the Nvidia stock falls because of the H20 chip restriction news, and also the AMD stock fell because of that. Now this news is very hard to trade because you don't know what Trump is going to say. We're going to come back to that in just a second.
Thousand is not unreasonable. I think before I've kind of said 175 around there. I think people underestimate how the largest economy in the world, the United States, went from headwinds, hostility, to tailwinds. And
what is your price target for
that was his price target,
Bitcoin?
178. The Ripple CEO said that Bitcoin's going to go to around 200k this year. Ain't that crazy? The Ripple CEO has just said that. S&P 500 forms a death cross for the first time since March 2022. That's mad. And what happened with the death cross the last time? We went lower. A lot lower. I don't know if we are going to go lower this time or the worst is already in. You never know with these markets, but history tells us that we are going to go lower. The perfect time to get interested because nobody's interested in Bitcoin. The interest and the stablecoin ratio channel as well. So a majority of people in stablecoins, is that correct? Brett is always the #1 trending base coin. Besides when a shiny flavor of the week has a quick moment for 1 to 7 days, what SHIB or Pepe is to ETH, Brett is to base. If you don't own the #1 meme on base at sub 1 billion this cycle, you simply don't understand narratives. Yeah, definitely under 10% of your portfolio, but Brett over the last few days was outperforming. But what I'm worried about is a coin always seems to outperform at certain stages of the cycle. It doesn't mean it's going to do well. If we look at coin market cap, and we actually have a little look at Brett, it's getting hammered 14% down on the day because it did have, and I kind of was worried that this was a local top and it is just going to go lower. This could bleed out for a while depending on the news and the tariffs and all that, but do I think is a great opportunity to get into some Brett? Of course. It's better getting in here than up here, for sure. and eventually it will have its comeback. It just depends on when they're going to inject liquidity in the market, when Ethereum is going to decide to move, and when Bitcoin's going to decide to move again. Because right now it's pumping on some news, but do I believe it's going to go higher? I don't know, man. Not right now. It looks bearish. We need confirmation. China's money supply is exploding. This liquidity will flow into Bitcoin. Hopefully, we're hoping it flows into Bitcoin. We don't know if it is gonna. Nvidia says the U.S. government has banned them from selling H20 chips to China for the indefinite future. Nvidia says this will come with a 5.5 billion charge to quarter one earnings. The stock is down over -5% on the news. That's mad. Fartcoin is worth more than Krispy Kreme. This is how you know, like, everything is so overvalued. Fartcoin. Do you think this is going to be worth anything in a few years? Even a few months, it's going to be worth nothing. Nobody cares. It doesn't provide value. Trump, we may want countries to choose between the US and China. The trade war, bro, is heating up badly. Let me actually check Krispy Kreme, because that is silly behavior. There's actually Krispy Kreme. Wow. It's going down though. It looks horrid. I don't know why anybody would invest in Krispy Kreme. A $10 price target. Buy this stock, $4 is actually expensive. That's literally the price you'd pay for the donut. Krispy Kreme stock soars as analysts say bottom has not been reached. Why would Krispy Kreme go up? Is Krispy Kreme in the S&P 500? There's no way. No, it's not included. Yep, I didn't expect it to. I don't want to touch anything outside of that because you want winners. And we don't know. Krispy Kreme is speculative, man. US consumers' expectation about personal finances over the next year have dropped to the lowest on record. The index on financial situation expectation is 8% below the lowest level seen during the 2008 financial crisis. In other words, not even the most severe recession since the Great Depression of 1930 saw such pessimistic views. Americans' outlook has sharply deteriorated as uncertainty in the economy and financial markets have risen. This in turn may significantly impact consumer spending, which accounts for over 66% of US GDP. Americans have rarely been so pessimistic about their finances. That's why everyone's fleeing to gold. Low key, I'm thinking about buying a few bars of gold, you know. Not a few bars, but like trickling in maybe a certain amount over time, because apparently the hard gold is better. I just want it to pull back, but I don't know if we'll get that. I don't know if we'll get a retest of this level here over the long term, because every time it finds a low, it goes up dramatically. Dramatically, man. Breaking gold fund net inflows hits a record 80 billion year to date. This is 2 times more than the previous high set in the full year 2020. Investors are pouring money into gold at a record pace as the market uncertainty has skyrocketed. As a result, gold prices have rallied 22% year to date and have outperformed every other major asset class. Gold prices have also hit 52 all-time highs over the last year, posting the best streak in 12 years. Gold is a global safe haven. You don't break records like this unless something's breaking underneath, i.e. the dollar, global monetary system as we know it. The reset isn't coming, it's accelerating. Bitcoin to follow just like 2020. Gold going goblin mode. Investors are stampeding into gold like it's the last can of beans in a nuclear bunker. Flipping heck, gold shines till Bitcoin wakes up. They're pouring money into paper. The thing is, the way they print, everything else is going to go up in value. They just print more dough. Early signals hold assets, not cash, not debt. Auto loan application rejected. What does he mean by this? Not exactly the chart we like to see climbing. What is the signal for? Loans are harder to get, aka Fed expecting lower rates. Yeah, what does it actually mean? Able investors should borrow melting fiat for hard assets. We're looking deflationary at the moment though. Volatility in US Treasuries have been truly historic. The 10-year note yield surged over 50 basis points in 1 week, marking the largest weekly increase since 2001. Over the last 40 years, there have been just a few other occurrences when the 10-year note saw such a significant rise. The 30-year Treasury yield has experienced daily swings of up to 32 basis points, the largest since 2020. Keep watching the bond market. This is looking horrific, bruh. China's M2 is sending, crypto will follow. Bitcoin is closely following the same path we've seen with gold. All signs point to an imminent rally. It's a 100-day lag, isn't it? Usually. Bitcoin is looking like the play, but I think end of April, early May, we're going to get a cycle low. End of April, early May. Around here. So around here, we do expect... I need to draw a little box here on the graph, so then we know for future reference. Where the hell are the boxes? I remember I used to draw boxes. Projection. Yeah, here we go. Around here, yo, that looks cool, bruh. I'm drawing all sorts of shapes on my chart. I'm looking like a technical analyst. So that's the period of time we should expect a cycle low, potentially going downwards. I'm thinking, how do I move this garbage? There we go. I'm thinking something like that. Maybe even to 70k. Hopefully, because then we can get in on the digital gold, bruh. One reason poor people remain poor. In Sunday school I learned, and the word became flesh and dwelt amongst us. My rich dad agreeing, adding, we become our words. This is why rich dad demanded I never say I can't afford it or can't do that. He said, those are the words of a poor person. They say those words day after day, become poorer and poorer. Instead he taught his son and me to say, how can I afford that, or how can I do that? If you want to improve your life, choose your words carefully. If you want to become richer and more successful, choose the words of a rich and successful person. The best news is words are free. Please take care. I don't just hold my crypto, I guard it like the cosmos entrusted it to me. You know what's mad? OKX put that on, and Omikami had a similar photo. I can't tell if this is the exact same photo though. I don't think it is. It's just someone with a hood on. 21st of September, on Omikami's birthday, those that are part of the family will harness the power of the sun and the universe. Prepare to witness the extraordinary. 21st of September? Does he mean this year or next year? It might be next year, you know. We might have to wait all the way till September, April, May, June, July, August. 6 months! Come on, bruh. First time, I'll have to hold then. For the first time this year, Bitcoin has broken this trend line. Let's pray for a pump to 90k. It actually went below, it went to like this level, like 83, 84. It's sort of holding it, I think. Is it holding it? It is. It doesn't look strong at all though. It looks like it wants to break. And that'd coincide with finding the bottom around late April, early May. We shall see. Cycles in it, cycle theory. Retail is gone. Posts mentioning specific cryptos are nearing August 2023 levels, but the best time to position are when the crowd are gone. By position, I don't mean buying. You can also network more in the space, build a brand, build a products, research new verticals to find asymmetries. That's facts, man. We're hitting lows. That's what we need to see. We've seen the, I think we've seen the starter pump. We're gonna see the end stage blowout altcoin cycle, but not yet. We need to see major changes in monetary policy. Everything depends on Jerome Powell cutting interest rates, transferring gold versus transferring Bitcoin. I don't know, gold is just hard to have though, innit? It's like solid. I know you want Bitcoin too. You want it all. You need a bit of it all. You need to be diversified. Bitcoin looks ready. Ooh, so it's going to go up a little bit, pull back, and it's gone. But this is, if that's global M2, why you been biased? Couldn't it not form a lower low before heading upwards? Let's be real, my bro. OM died, a top 50 coin gone, 6 billion erased like it never mattered. This is your reminder, make your money and get out. In crypto nothing is guaranteed. Not the team, not the tech, not the hype, only your risk management, your discipline. If this didn't humble you, you're not going to make it. Survive first. Another thing, another great tip that I can give you is make sure that your crypto is on cold wallets. And don't have 100% in crypto. Never. Because this can happen easily. The dot-com crypto boom is almost here. A once in every 26 years shot at making FU money. We're almost there. We're almost there. I want the S&P to correct like crazy, because then it's going to cause Jerome Powell to cut rates. Stop buying meme coins, invest in utility, the utility project. The future is meme coins then, meme coins now. Wow. Yeah, it's not looking good, brev. Bitcoin has trouble breaking the 85-300 range. We're either going to smash to 88k or retest the lower high trendline resistance that is now a support. But overall, the market looks short-term bullish for now. For now. Gold is up 1,000% since the year 2000. The S&P has returned 485%. Damn, it's outperformed the S&P 500. Who is pumping? Brett. Yeah, Brett was pumping like crazy, you know. This is how I expect the meme coin super cycle to play out. Everything is according to plan. Buckle up. Why are people going to take that much risk? It doesn't look likely yet. This is two more bullish parabolas. Humans underestimate exponentials. Oh, okay, so this was the second exponential. So maybe we are going to bleed for some time. Maybe even till September, and then we might see a massive uptrend, because usually the moves are very quick. The uptrends are very quick. The sideways consolidations are most of the time. That's when people tend to lose focus, and that's why a lot of people miss out on the rally. 99.9% of crypto should not exist. This bull run has turned me into a Bitcoin maxi. I will flip alts for money, but I don't trust any long term. I don't even trust Bitcoin. I'm gonna be real. Where are we going next though? We'll see. That's the main thing.
And buying mantra. I was doing some research.
This guy actually called it though with the mantra.
Like really sketchy. But I'm gonna find my RWA. I'm gonna use a checklist. I'm really gonna find it. I don't.
Yeah, mantra got smoked.
Recommend buying mantra. I was doing some research. I looked into it. It looks sketchy.
We'll see where this heads, man. The next few days are critical, because it's gonna make a move. And when it does make a move, chill, bruh, chill. When it does make a move, that is what we're looking for, and that is where the market is headed. We're going to see where this market is headed. It's all dependent upon, as much people don't like to hear it, it's all dependent on this baby right here, the SPX 500. And if this is going lower, Bitcoin is also going lower, because are we headed into a bear market like this? We could be, before we fly higher. Or is it just a short-term correction? We'll see.